Now for Sheriff, what do we got?
Shortly after midnight, our department received a call of some gunshots being fired in the 1800 block of Porter Avenue. Our officers arrived 3 minutes after the call was dispatched, and there was no one at the residence. We determined that there was a shooting that occurred at 1811 Porter Avenue. Two males were involved in the shooting. One male had transported himself to St. James Healthcare with a gunshot wound to his left calf area. And the second male involved in the shooting had fled the scene in a 2013 silver Chevrolet Camaro with California license plates.
And you said the victim was shot in the left calf?
Yes.
Like so from behind?
Well, no, not necessarily. What happened is it sounds like the individual who allegedly fired the shots was sitting in the silver Corvette. The other male was outside the Corvette. At some point, a verbal dispute occurred between the two, and the individual who was in the Corvette fired 2 rounds from a handgun out the driver's side window, one of which struck the victim in the left calf area. The second round missed.
Do we know what the relationship of the two people were? Were they friends or were they family? Do we know that?
These two individuals are acquaintances and are well aware of each other's identity, and so the victim has identified the individual who fired the gunshots.
Can we know who it is?
Yes. The suspect in the shooting is a Luke Andrew Lipinski, age 37.
I spell Lipinski.
Lapinski.
And that's the suspect, the actual
Yeah,
shooter.
the suspect
Okay.
is Luke Andrew Lipinski, and he's 37 years old.
And from California?
Yes.
Do you know where in California?
Let me check.
And the first time you said Camaro, and the second time you said
It's
Corvette.
Corvette. So take that. Edit the Camaro out.
So he shot from he was sitting in the driver's seat. They got in an argument. Lipinski allegedly shot at the fella twice from the car.
Yes. The address we have on this individual is Butte, California.
How do you spell that?
Buellton.
Okay.
And what do we know what he was doing in Montana?
We're not sure at this point what he was doing in Montana. They are acquaintances, they know each other well, and so the victim has identified Mr. Lipinski as the shooter in this incident.
Do we know what the argument was over? What they were?
We do have an indication of what the argument is over, however, we are not releasing that information at this time.
You guys suspect drug? We all were just
Like,
Well, it's in any incident like this, all of those things have to be considered at this time. We're not certain what what led to the shooting.
Can you tell us anything about the victim? Age, where he's from, or even his name?
Victim is a 38-year-old male with a Butte address. And that's about all I can release on
Does
Victim.
he live on Porter?
I don't believe he does. Let me check. No, he's not a resident of that location.
And this happened obviously outside the residence.
Yeah, it happened
in the
front
street or where?
Yeah, in the street in front of 1811 Porter Avenue. That's where the Corvette was parked, and that's the vehicle that Mr. Lipinski allegedly fired from, striking the victim.
Did you guys recover the shells, the rounds? So there was
We did recover
outside?
some shell casings at the scene. We're not releasing the caliber or any other details about that, but we did recover some evidence at the scene to indicate that we can corroborate that at least 2 rounds were fired.
And it was a handgun of some sort.
Yes.
Do
Okay.
you guys think that the suspect has left Montana?
At this point, we don't know. It's likely, in my mind, that he would ditch that silver Corvette because it's easy to track a vehicle like that. So we don't know whether he's ditched the vehicle and he's traveling in another vehicle. He may still have the Corvette, or whether or not he's left our jurisdiction at this point is we're not sure.
Okay, so you don't have any tips on where he's headed?
Not at the current time, no. We are working with federal agencies as well as local agencies throughout Montana and throughout the region, basically, to attempt to locate Mr. Lipinski in relation to this. We are anticipating the issuance of an attempted deliberate homicide warrant in the near future from the Butte Silver Bowl County Attorney's Office.
Wow.
And how about the status of the victim at this point in time, where he's at?
The victim was treated at St. James Healthcare. Whether or not he is still at that facility, I'm not sure.
And he is obviously expected to live. So.
Yes, the injury is not believed to be life-threatening at this time.
What time did the shooting occur again? You said about?
It was about 14 minutes after midnight, and our officers were on scene at about 12:17.
Did neighbors call in?
Yes, we received a call from a neighbor who had heard some gunshots, and when our officers arrived, both of the involved parties had already left. So, depending on the length of time between the gunshots and the call, sometime during the 3 minutes it took us to arrive, both the suspect and the victim had left the area.
And the victim turned himself in like at after 4. That's when you finally.
The victim actually transported himself directly to St. James Hospital.
So he drove himself.
Yes.
But did he? When did you guys like? Was this immediately after the shooting, or was it some time past?
So right after the shooting, we actually were at the hospital as he arrived.